Sup? This is Bissian, Reinhold's player. We finished the campaign quite some time back, and I was put in charge of organizing the archive for Phantom of the Past to lessen Falcon's load. Judging by how much time has passed, though, you can guess how that went. I got lazy and forgot about it. But I'm working on it now. Some footage was lost over the months, and others I just couldn't be there to record for, but I made do. Some of that lost footage includes how the Master Trials ended, so I went ahead and put together a little something to help with that. Enjoy! The last time on Phantoms of the Past. We continued our journey through the Master Rune Trials with all sorts of challenges, from wrestling Kappa, surviving against elemental skeletons, and avoiding kelp monsters, but ultimately we made it through without too much effort. That is, until the last challenge. A giant turtle that had mastered the water rune would give us our final test. There were only two ways we could emerge victorious: defeat the Master in combat, or shatter his shell. The fight was grueling, with many of the verses falling again and again, while Judith, Phoenix, and Amrit tried desperately to calibrate statues that would weaken him. Just when it looked like we wouldn't make it, Reinhold got up from 0 HP with a nat 20 and cracked the shell with one last bite of his jaws. And with that, we completed the Master Rune Trials. As we each stepped out of the facility, images of our ideal futures flashed in our minds. Power flowed into us. We had acquired our Master Runes. The next day, we all went about our business. Some took the time to continue their projects, others training and adjusting to their newfound ability. But Judith had other business to attend to. Having accidentally dragged along Amrit while teleporting, the pair were brought to Between the Flames, where an important conversation was to be had. And that is where our story continues.
Find it inappropriate for me to be a regular employee of Between the Flames. I feel like I have reached a power level where people might get the wrong idea, and that would bring a stain to this amazing newspaper that I've been a part of building. If you agree, I would love that I would be able to still stay on, maybe as a just doing freelance work or opinion, quote pieces every now and then. And when the book comes out for the final story of this group, of course, Between the Flames will be credited and can do the publishing.
See, he kind of focuses in and rubs his chin. Well, we've been surviving around here and managing just fine. You put us on the map in terms of sales. Your journey is probably the best scoop we've had since the inception of this place. So who would I be to tell you otherwise? Besides, I can't force you to work here. Do I want you to stay in full capacity? Of course. We're just so close. He shows you the markups on the papers. For a long time, Wizards Weekly has been making about a 90% profit over us. It's now only at 15. We nearly closed the gap. Before you were on, it was almost a 400% gap. In that time, you've managed to change the lives of the employees and the people in the world to see the greater picture. So, of course, I'd keep you on as a freelancer in some form or fashion. But if you are going to truly retire, I suggest you do it after the trial, as our press has been allowed the front row, and you obviously an opportunity to speak for Phoenix. But if not, then you have to go with Frankie, and I looked at his paperwork. He is not qualified.
From what I understand, I'm being put in to almost be her representation, to be her lawyer. Or am I misunderstanding?
You are going to be having a speech to the people in general prior to going inside, but as well as she needs someone to represent her. Now we can get a lawyer for her, uh, but the task of the lawyer is just to tell the appropriate truth, which is to say, for someone like you, just the truth. Now you don't have to take this role up, but I don't want her to have Frankie. He means well, But if we need to assign a lawyer, then I'll do what I can.
Let's say that until the conclusion of the trial, um, I'll step down my post here so I can go and fully represent Phoenix.
The pot of by the window shakes a little bit, and you just see someone scurry off. It's gonna be really hard to replace you. Eva Star is a good choice, even though Gento probably wants to roll. As for your power and your position, there's going to be a lot of hard stuff in the future. So we'll put you on as a freelancer when you're willing to work. Because Eva didn't start the night chapter stuff to close it out here. She's going to want to be on the press paper with you on this one. And I think it's too dangerous for her to go alone.
It's understandable.
But your wishes is up to you. Well, better cash you out then. And he gives you a check, which you can just bring to any bank in the Fairlands to get money because they're not super modern, but these checks are official and graced with magic to make them authentic. And he hands you a check for your regular salary, which you've been underpaid for a while now, is 4,000. I suppose before you started being an adventurer, getting about 250 to 300 gold a month was pretty damn good. But now you've had more luxuries than most. And then he gives you the kind of the money that you brought in from your stories and your adventures thus far, and that is 30,000 GP
Jesus.
plus your normal pay, which was 4,000. We brought in a lot of money here. In fact, we're gonna be retiring this building soon and get us somewhere more secure. The job for everyone here has become far more difficult. It seems like success has its pains.
Just takes the check, and I mean, it's obvious like this is this is heartbreaking for her. This is something that she felt so much pride about, being a member of Between the Flames, being able to tell the stories, that the other papers were afraid to or couldn't, and deliver the truth to the world. But she steels herself in thinking that she's not going to have to worry about maybe if others think that this position that she's in now is a corruptible place, and she's able to tell the stories that she truly wants to do.
Okay.
So with a smile, she'll thank you, Mr. Tuttle. Well, I'll see you soon.
You're not. And Amra, you see these people in here all having like a meeting and stuff. And Lucky turns around. How can I help you?
Oh, hi. I'm a friend of Judas. I just wanted to, meet some of her colleagues, I guess, in the field.
Oh, he wasn't smoking that leaf if that's what you thought, but if you want some, I'll give you some.
What?
I wasn't sipping on the perk either, but you want some to give it. Oh, well.
Can anyone else say something?
They just look like, yeah, it's been pretty stressful around here, so shit. So we've been just hitting the perk and the devil's lettuce.
Oh.
Well, that's what I said. Didn't you hear me the first time I mentioned it?
My apologies.
All them fighting along the way must have got your ears all screwed up.
Sure. He'll close the door. Is there any more of that stuff? Or?
You see Gentle grab a bag. No! Even though I'm quite a fan of Judith, She's my best friend, in fact, and potential lover. We cannot afford to spare what's left in this bag. It's only enough for 10 people.
Sure.
Mariah takes it and goes, "Thank you, but I'm the one that supplied this here, and you know that Mr. Todd doesn't like us using too much of it. So here." And she gives you enough for 2 people, Everett.
But your boss knows about this shit?
He does. He says when we're out there in the field, not to be on it, but if we're here in the office, it's fine. Besides, we're about to close down for the day, so it's not like we have any more footwork to do.
Meeting friends, Emma?
Emma would just quickly tell you that we don't all do it here. Me and Eva sit out. We use conventional tobacco. And then that's when you would hear Judith from behind.
Oh, he'll open the door. Hey, how stressful is this job?
I mean, I feel like I'm a beacon of relaxation.
Right. You ready to go?
Yeah. Just take the time, not to RP it, but kind of goes in and says hello to everyone. Making a point to, gentle Eva and thanking them all. And telling them that I'm taking a step away while the trial's happening.
Shame.
Come on, Emma. I'm sure there's other places we can check out while we're here.
Yeah.
You gotta get ready because things are gonna start happening fast. And start heading out.
Okay, is there anything else you want to do in your 2 weeks?
I mean, there is. I think I just quickly. I'll just dive straight into like all the stuff that's happening with the trial and like meet the people that I need to and get full up on the laws and look at all the all the charges that are being brought, all like lawyery type stuff.
Sure, yeah, and you have some good notes.
Yeah.
Has not reads a lot of books, so he could give you pointers and tips and information you need to succeed and whatnot. Is there anything else you want to summarize or?
I don't think so. I think that's quite a bit. Thank you.
Okay, Sora, I think I was gonna say last but not least, but yeah, that is correct. Okay, Sora, you're good to go.
All right. I would say maybe the first 2 days, Sora has been seen around, mostly recuperating from the trial of Tamataka, but I'd say second or third day, she has seemingly gathered a lot of things, like a lot of food and provisions, and seemed just standing on top of the turtle head of the place they've been staying at, as if she's waiting for someone. If anyone were to approach, she would turn and look and smile, but she looks as if she's leaving.
Where are you going, Sora?
The mastery trials may be over, but there's still something that I must do alone.
Alone? You sure? You know I'd help you with whatever it is.
I know you would. I'm not sure if you can be with me, but maybe that would be up to the masters. I'm going to the pool of cleansing.
Why? What are you getting cleansed?
She smiles, reaching behind her, grabbing the armament and brandishing it. The influence of Zabi is still within the armament. Even as a master, I cannot risk letting his powers come back into the world. I am told it could take time, and it could be difficult.
Uh, I mean, I got this device that would allow me to breathe underwater if it involves that. I'd hate for you to face it alone.
We can ask. The masters are hiring them when they arrive. They're going to tell me where I'm going. Would you like
All
to
right,
sit with me?
I would. And she'll come and sit, and depending how long they're sitting, she'll probably be trying to keep it light. So I won't tell anybody, but you and Reinhold, how's it going?
He's made his stipulations clear. And the best way I can describe it is once that quest to free Hyrian is over, he'll feel free to open his heart to me. But it is unclear if that when or if that will happen.
It looks like both of us have futures that we wish for. We just gotta walk our path and see where they lead.
You'll notice, Soccer Phoenix, that ever since the trials were over, Sora doesn't much high energy anymore. She's always even, very controlled, very calm. And when you're like within close proximity of her, you always feel this gentle, warm breeze rushing around her that it feels comforting, as she's always now within her family's power. Uh, I try not to worry anymore. Try not to fret on what could be's or what could not be's. If he opens his heart to me, then it'll be wonderful. But if he doesn't, then it's a path that was unventured. I choose to walk free and try not to let what ifs cause my path to go astray anymore.
You have gotten quite wise. I must say, it feels like you've grown up. I mean, I liked you before. Your joy and your energy and your infectious laughter. I like you now, too.
I will continue to share my joy. I am coming to understand is my responsibility. I am to replace Zabimaru. It is not something I wish to take lightly. But I think I know how I'll begin setting what was wrong back to right.
God, thought the weight on my shoulders was heavy.
It is heavy for you, Phoenix. Let us not try to compare each other's pains and past. Everyone's weight is unique to each other. As long as we are there to share the load, share these burdens, we will overcome them, and we will bring a kingdom of peace to all.
That's a nice story, a nice dream. I hope it comes true.
It's a dream we can share together if you wish.
Yeah, but my next chapter is the moon. Getting those people back, righting some of the wrongs that I was used for. But I mean, that's a step on the way towards yours.
It is a path I will share with you. The moon is sacred to me, not only because of my family, but because of you, Phoenix.
She kind of does a thing where she shifts her weight and kind of hits you shoulder to shoulder. And we'll look out over the horizon.
I believe I see someone coming now. They've come to collect me or tell me where I'm supposed to be going.
You would see Irene and Tamataka take you to the wellspring.
How old is this place?
Tamataka tells you. Pretty old, indeed. Not as old as my brother, but old. And say Zion once took a bath in this well, and now it is sacred.
I do look forward to the day that I am graced by his presence. I feel like I have felt him every so often in my journey.
He's still here, in the air, in the grass, in the rock. He, he is also the tornado and the earthquake. He's the world as molded by his hands.
That's very beautiful. I'll remember that. What is required of me?
Well, this place can cure most anything. It's how we kept Hyrian in check most of the duration of his mouth carrying. It's like holding a baby in your belly, but if the baby was a monster. And he looks at Harry, and Harry looks at you. It appears, in my time I've spent with Lilith and Mother Nature, they have a procedure that they can put me through to possibly prolong my existence, should I say. Help with the purification process by first weakening Hyperion. And so I'm going to go over there to the glam and mow down his den and be placed in some type of ichor, some type of yellow substance, I think an amber of sorts. It's like just time itself stops when you're within it, and you persist as you are. But it keeps you nourished and alive to some extent, without the joys of life. But it's better than turning into a monster. If they think that a weakened state can be purified, then why not give it a try?
Understood. When the time comes, do call upon me, and we will bring your life back. For you are my brother, and my family.
He nods. Our journeys have only just begun. Sure, the chapters in our life may feel like they're come to a close, but a new one always opens up. Anyway, you'll need to bath your sacred treasure in these waters for the next several days. So we'll be spending a lot of time together since I'm kind of over in layover till I get to Mother Nature.
Thank you, Hyrian, for giving me such a beautiful journey and such wonderful memories that will hold with me forever. I can never begin to repay them all. I can only make every step from here a path to that kingdom that I saw in that vision.
He looks at you and he nods. He just tells you, that's all any of us can do. And then Tamataka missed that part because you could see he's pretty old and he's like staring at you, but you realize at some point that he's asleep. But he just has this smile on his face while he's looking at you the whole time while sleeping.
She gently places a hand on his face not to wake him with a smile of her own. Then I shall begin my new trial. And with your strength, I know I can accomplish it.
Excellent. Is there anything else you'd like to do in between bathing your weapons over the course of the 2 weeks or not?
In between bathing the weapon, she's gonna be in those meditative states with it, if anything, to attune herself more to this armament than she did before. To not only erase Sabi's ilk and corruption from it, but to make it her own. But in between those times, she would reach out, opening herself when she contacted. Oh man, it's been a while now.
So do you need the overview map?
Ogo Boss, sorry, that's her name. She would open herself up to not only Ogo Boss, but try and open herself up to her brother, in case they ever were thinking about her or trying to contact her. She would be made available. Just seeing how they're doing, trying to get an idea if they're still okay or if they need help.
Sure. There'd be some good news. You know that the end of this 2 weeks, which is what we'll pick up here soon, that there's an aerial craft of some kind coming to pick you up. Typically, you're used to the one that Minerva uses, but this is different. Something else entirely. The person who helped maintain or recreate the trials has been waiting to kind of scoop you all up. I think of the characters, only Phoenix has met her in briefly. But to that point, Dando and Ogobas are both aboard the vessel.
Oh, I cannot wait just to meet them at this time. Yeah, but that would mean there's nothing else from me, and I am ready to go.
Okay. So each of you spend your 2 weeks how you spent it. Some of you are still, unless they came back for the flyover, it might just be a few of you on this next map. Would Judith and Emmerich have returned or just wait for them on the other side?
If Emmer wanted to go back, I would have sent him, but no, Judith's gonna stay.
I will head back.
You head back? Okay. So you're going to be over here. And then you are still in Icarus. You are getting eaten by Malda right now. There should not be two of you. And Baby Mello is going to fit on that vessel no matter what. Okay, I will put an eyeball down. I had an eyeball down for Daniel, but I'll assign it to Judith as well.
Thank you.
I see you assumed your old title in game, Shade.
Of course.
The good old days. Okay, when the vessel would come and collect you all, you would notice a few people are on it. Minerva, Polly, Camille, which most of you have not met, Shadow Wolf, Gearheart, Ogobas, Dando. Below deck, very, very, very excited to see Judith, but will have his heart broken. Oof. Also, because the Chizio trio came with you, Oof currently has them cornered and he's talking to them. And they're They're just by this. Hold on, I'm gonna move you guys to the map now so you can see everything that's going on. He's got them kind of cornered in this one section. You guys can address it later if you care, or just let it be. I'm gonna put you where I think you'd naturally fall in on the ship, but you know, you can move around, whatever. It doesn't matter. Also, I think, where are we? Where are we? Here we go. So this interesting looking vessel would first be sailing on the waters before it begins to, as you all board, lift into the air. A whole bunch of people would run up to you guys, excited to see you, impressed with your mastery. Um, and Camille would look at you, Phoenix, and just say to you, "It looks like you did all right for yourself."
You made it really hard. That was an amazing contraption. I've never seen one so big.
It's the remnants of Metal Rain put to good use. You should know best, reinventing the past to be a better future.
Indeed. Just
Oh, he's excited to see you.
she tries to hide her excitement as well. Let's see how this goes. Okay. She will walk over a little faster than she probably should and see if he'll allow her to pet him.
Yeah, he just kind of like bends over a little bit because he's big even for normal people height. So he
Yeah.
gets down and you just kind of can grab him around his maw. And Camille says, "In the time you served in the Vanguard Action Squad under my leader, it seems that you had a strong bond with Shadow Wolf. I believe that all of our constructs have a soul, even if it's not conventional. Besides, our soul is not a physical thing like our heart is. Why can't these creatures we make have them as well?"
Now that you say that, I swear Jenkins, well, it's a long story, but I swear he had one and I can't get my new construct to act like he did. He's like entirely different, even though all the programming was the same. I think I'm with you.
I know what the issue is. I think that it takes a portion of ourselves to manifest that. And you just know in your heart it's not the same. I tried to make other Shadow Wolves in the past and the connection wasn't there. Perhaps we share a soul with them and we can only split it so many times. Or maybe it's something else. But I'd be looking forward to discovering that with you.
I would be honored.
Now, say hi to your friends and then meet me below deck. I've got some stuff to show you.
Can't wait.
And then we'll have this guy just kind of storage unit over here. This is the little hatch here to go below deck. But quickly before you go talk to everybody else, Shadowbolt, by the way, he just lays up here and just looks at you. But Oof has the trio, and the trio looks nervous. It's, "Oh, what are you gonna do to us?" "I came here for one person, one reason, and now my life is empty. I could show you what I could do by switching this eye patch over. But let's just make something certain in the food chain. You three work for me now. You do what I say, and yes, I support child labor. You understand?" Ooh! He passes out. Campbell is reaching for a knife in his back pocket. And
Oof,
Dumpling.
I'd be careful. They're more dangerous than they look.
"Oh, hey, Rune Master. Just talking to my new pals here." He shows them like his claws, but he tries to be sneaky about it.
Mm-hmm. She will offer the trio a path of escape behind her if they wish to take it.
Yeah, they're super fast, like cartoon Saturday morning cartoon fast.
How are things going back at the City of Tears, Uth?
Well, a lot of things are happening. A lot of transitions are going on for this court thing, because apparently it's a big deal. Arroya and Tenethil will be attending. Apparently they're both royalty to some extent. Uh,
I'm guessing Blondie's lap is cold without you there.
oh yeah, love her lap. It's pretty nice being a cat. All these ladies, I just lap up on them.
Yeah. Behave yourself. And she points to Wolf over her shoulder. There's always bigger things around.
Oh, all right, I see what it is. I see what it is. Okay. Sora, you got some siblings. Literally, it's weird, but your entire tribe.
Every single one of them. Uh, as soon as Sora would see the both of them, she would not mask at all how far she's come, and before they even like realize she's there, she's in front of them, and her arms are wrapped around the both of them, and they can both feel that her rune is not only active, but it's just she doesn't. It doesn't seem to be dissipating at all.
That's so cool. So where can I get some of them runes? Some of them rune masteries. Where can I get some of that?
I can talk with the masters and see about you getting the mastery trial at some point, Dondo.
I got this sneaking suspicion that you finally surpassed me, but I don't know.
We could find out together.
I'm gonna train a little bit and get back to you.
I look forward to that day.
And he pulls out his staff and he tells you, you know, you do a lot of cool stuff. Yep, real cool. But I know he showed you this before. He taps his staff and it breaks apart and there's a sword under it. A really long sword. See, I still got something up on you.
She smiles and she produces the staff where she presses it into the floor, doing her standing on the staff technique. I have seen that you have developed quite your own abilities. And then she presses her foot against it, and the staff elongates by 20 feet as she towers over Dondo. But I have my own tricks now as well, Dondo.
Yeah, well, mine's longer. And then Ogobas just shakes his head, her head. And she says to you, I was allowed to board this vessel with the graces of Camille, but I won't be able to attend the trial with all of you. I'm still in very similar waters as Phoenix, but unproven. In fact, I'm due to be put on trial as well, but not right now. And then Daniel goes, yeah, look at this badass wanted poster. And he shows his wanted poster of Ogobas.
I'll be there for you as well.
In any case, it's great to see the Aku mastering their runes. You're the future of our clan. And Daniel's like, you're talking to me, right? Right? You're both the future of our clans.
You have a future too, Ogobas, alongside us.
Perhaps. In any case, I just wanted to give you comfort in these times. I don't know what's going to happen with your friend Phoenix. And I understand how it feels to be painted a villain if it wasn't entirely your control. So, in short, I can relate to your friend.
The forces of darkness have evermore started using the tactics of pitting us against one another, using us for their own means. We will not let this keep happening, and you will have your freedom again, Ogobas.
And if Sora fails, I'll succeed. Because let's be clear here. I've read a few books. Well, I mean, they're picture books, but I'm the main character of this story. She's supporting cast, Ogobas. So if you need something, you come to me, and then I'll go to her if I need something from her. You can see he's really jealous that you've mastered your rune. He's super, super jealous. He's starting to feel like a side character. Spoiler, he is.
We all support each other, Dondo. There is no harm in that. Speaking of which, how's Tasha doing?
Tasha's gonna be at the trial. Ran some tests on her. She's doing a lot better. Uh, Not here on the flight. She's still kind of under a lot of people's eyes. She doesn't have her free will. Uh, but what's that about? You got people like Phoenix and Ogre walking around. Of course, Ogre is evading the police, and Phoenix is now heading to them. Whatever.
Life is unfair, but often we work with the cards we are given. We simply have to have the better hand in this game.
Hey, you're. Never mind.
What is it, Dondo?
You think we could have saved my master? You know, my father. I mean, we're saving everybody else. And even though he was a bad person, he was still my dad, and I miss him.
I do not know. I do not miss this person. He did many terrible things to you. But if there is a way to restore what he used to be, and if there was a person underneath the machinations of Zabi, I would help you restore him so that he could be the father that he was supposed to be.
He looks really serious. There's one more thing I failed to mention when you board this vessel.
What is it, brother?
You think Phoenix will sleep with me?
I would say you could give it your best shot, but understand that she too is a master of darkness. So there's a gamble to be had, brother.
All right, we should probably leave that last line out of the court, but I get you. You know what? I'm not even going to try because I'm not saying she's stronger than me and she'll hurt me if I ask. But, being the most powerful comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Begin with asking to buy her a drink instead of asking to sleep with her.
All right, fine. Phoenix!
Who is halfway down the trapdoor to downstairs?
Hey! You know that trap door?
What do you want, Dondo?
I'm going to
Oh,
get you.
glad you're alive, by the way.
Yeah, it was a narrow escape. I was thinking, you want to just get a drink sometimes?
What, you mean like a drinking contest?
Sure.
Oh, hell yeah, I'd love to humiliate you.
Oh, sweet. And I will get on whatever you're doing. Uh, he would tell you, and then we'll go somewhere else. He would just tell you briefly. So, yep, asked her for a drink. She wants me.
Then maybe you aren't so hopeless after all.
I thought I was gonna have to freaking attack her with my sword. She was coming at me hard.
She is a fierce one, my Phoenix.
And he continues to explain to you his situation, and you just know he's full of shit. Um, Amrit or Reinhold, what are either of you two up to? Just enjoying the flight? What do you think about talking to anybody?
Are there like windows on this thing?
Well, actually, this whole top portion is exposed.
Or it's like a
Rail-
shit show?
yeah, there's railings on the side, and there's a below deck, which is where Phoenix is heading.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, he's pretty much just like looking out at the view going by. Just let everyone mingle with their different peoples. Seeing it doesn't seem like Phoenix go downstairs for something. Um, so we're just chilling.
Sure. While you're chilling, you just feel someone like loom over your shoulders and stare down at the back of your head.
They're like right behind me.
Yeah.
Turns around.
How's it going, motherfucker?
Oh, you. All right, you.
Doing good. I'm just wondering when we're gonna head up back to my people. Is that still a plan?
Who are you people again? The moon people?
Appropriate, motherfucker.
Yeah, I just gotta take care of some things down here first.
All right. Well, then I'll be seeing you around.
Yep.
He just looks at the kids. Scram, bitches.
Uh,
They're just like running around in circles, screaming. They're just wondering what they got themselves into. They should stay on the islands.
which
Okay.
confuses him because he's had like no like interaction with any of them either.
Yeah, they don't know where to run. They don't know where Phoenix is. They're seeing Oof, but Oof is second guessing it because Shadow Wolf. But Reinhold, what are you doing then?
Reinhold, for the most part, is kind of just enjoying the view, kind of leaning against the railing and just watching as things zip by. Uh, would Sora have mentioned the whole thing with Hyperion being locked up inside Amber for a while?
She would have at least told you when she got back,
Okay, got it.
because she
Uh,
knew how important that was to you.
hmm. As he looks over the railing and everything passing by, he tries to process the information the best he can, but it kind of just it's almost like liquid flowing down a tube. You can't quite grasp it, but you know that it's there, that you could feel it, but it's not quite tangible to you, I guess, as he's just trying to figure out what to do with it. That idea of he'd been training all this time to try to do this as quick as possible and for it to be held off for a while. Hopefully for the better, but there's this sense of impatience, I guess, as he's just looking at everything passing by him at a pace that he'd only been able to imagine before. And he's really just trying to process everything.
Let's see. Give me 1 second, because I was in the middle of sibling banter, but yeah. But then you kind of feel a gust of wind next to you. As while Dondo was probably lost in talking about himself, Sora is just he looks and it's like kind of her outlines there blinking very comically as within the next like 6 seconds Sora is next to Reinhold as if she could just feel the tepidness of his mood at the moment. We will still free him, Reinhold.
He looks forward for a second. He's just like visibly startled, not realizing how quick you are. It's like a little jump in his movement. Oh, it's. Yeah, I know. It's just. I'd already made you that promise, and I didn't want to make you wait any longer than needed.
She reaches up and begins to place her hand on your back. The world is what you seek of it, Reinhold. You are the world serpent. You decide what your word means. There is time. What you do of it is of your own free will.
Hmm.
If you choose to take a path to get closer to me, no one will look down upon you for it. But if you choose to continue fretting about things you cannot control, you will be unhappy.
He leans against the railing and just listens intently to every word that you say. and just glances down at the surroundings flying by him. He closes his eyes and lets out a deep sigh. I'd made that promise because I wanted to give you my everything, to not be distracted by whatever would lay on my mind. But seeing what everybody has been able to do, the impossibilities that you all have been able to surpass, I don't think I need to hold that promise anymore. Because I know that I'm not going to need to worry about whether or not we will be able to. I know that we can. It's only a matter of time. He opens his eyes and stands up to directly face Sora, eye to eye, at his full standing height, which at this point you've picked up is something he doesn't do unless he's fully comfortable with somebody. He just locks eyes with her and says calmly, I am still sorry that I had stolen your first moment of intimacy. I wasn't quite sure of what that had meant within the mainland. Because within my culture, your first moment of intimacy isn't something that can be taken. It is something that can only be given. And as I have taken from you, allow me to return the favor. As he slowly places a hand on your waist, if you allow him.
He does.
He slowly pulls her in and places his other hand just lightly against the cheek, slowly brushing his thumb against her cheek. This is what it means to make a promise in my culture. As he lightly places his chin on Sora's forehead, leans forward as his nose just lightly digs into her hair, that light brushing against the top of her head, and kisses her forehead. And there's this feeling of overwhelming warmth, of simply protectiveness, of giving everything to this moment and nothing else. To focus entirely on you two, and being here, sharing it. That correct?
Before you respond, give me a dexterity saving throw, Reinhold.
Got it.
You kissed my sister.
Get your filthy, dirty, rotten hands off my innocent sister.
As I get the sheet to freaking load.
He goes flying in with this super massive kick, spiraling out of the sky, spinning, and tornado like kicks up. And you can still see his eyes having this blaring red energy in them as he comes crashing down to kick you like right in your head.
Danger sense applies here.
Oh yeah. I would say you would, if he yelled, I would say you would see him coming.
Got it. 15.
I'll make an attack roll to see if that's good enough.
Oh shit.
Give me a strength saving throw.
Got it. Oh shit. The fuck?
Okay, yeah. So you're holding on the edge. He doesn't see you at first. He screams, "Tell him to pull it over. I didn't want to kill him. I'm sorry, sir. I've seen men like him before. I am men like him."
And Dondo make a strength save as well.
Oh, Dondo has to make a strength save.
Oh no.
Shit.
He just like suddenly like his arms and legs just like basically like crushed together like to his sides, and he'll like just be like levitated like 10 feet up in the air.
I think my rune's awakening.
Sora would reach down and pull Reinhold back up. Reinhold, this is my brother, Dondo. Dondo, this is Reinhold. This is my boyfriend.
Yo, boyfriend? He's like foaming at the mouth.
Will you calm down?
As you pull up Reinhold, there's that look of, you notice that his face is just like entirely red. Not really like processing that Dondo had knocked him down because he'd like instinctively grabbed onto the edge. But you notice that he's still thinking about what he just did. He didn't even register Dondo.
This is him, except the blood thing's holding him up. He just keeps screaming, "I'll destroy you! Tell me, did you sleep with her? You take her innocence! Tell me! She's my sister!"
Brother, we haven't even so much as kissed very much yet. It's fine.
And none of your business.
See, Ogobas comes over, grabs him by the head, and just kind of floats him away since you have him in your blood thing. Like he's a balloon. This isn't how we're supposed to rebuild our clan, sir. This is not how we're supposed to rebuild.
Yes, I was supposed to remain a virgin the entire of my life, and you have a harem.
He does not see his bias. He's allowed unlimited Womantes, but you are not allowed any men.
You may have to beat him in single combat before he accepts you.
Reinhold just shakes his head as he like snaps out of whatever the hell just happened.
I'll leave you two to it.
Thank you, Amrut.
Yeah.
Gives a nod of appreciation.
I wouldn't say being with me would be easy.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Can you make me another promise?
Anything.
Just make the same promise before. And she just hug you.
There's that moment of like confusion across his face, but he slowly loosens his body up and smiles as he just rests his head on her head. Very well.
Scene before my brother has a brain aneurysm.
Okay. Phoenix, you head below deck.
Yep.
When you get to below deck, you can see that it's actually quite nice. There's a long hallway that stretches from this middle section here that you can see is large, all the way to the back. Enough for you guys to sleep semi-comfortably, especially since the bunk bed's down here, and the captain's room. She would eventually kind of go through these winding tunnels and bring you to the north and tell you, "You know why I brought you here?"
Nope. You want my opinion on something? You stuck on a project?
I figured you'd enjoy taking this bad boy for a fly.
You gonna let me pilot it?
And then she moves the curtain and reveals to you this chair, which I'll move the eye on the right side of the map. You guys can see the lower deck. This one seat controls the entire vessel, and your mind is its steering wheel. Right now, I have it set to take us back to the Fairlands, but you can control it any which way. I brought you here because the Vanguard owes you a great debt for unraveling the mess that was started with the Metal Gods. Now, some would say it's your fault, I'm sure, but the Metal God would have probably got a release eventually. No one had a solution for it. Not Clamdor, not me. And it's solved now and resolved.
Hypothetically, if the airship were to do a loop-de-loop, is there like a gravity force that would keep everybody on the deck?
Phoenix, she tells you, oh, let's get that mystery track. It's been a while. And she tells you, I brought you here to this ship because of what it means. This is the framework for what will take us to the moon. This thing can already pierce into space. Yes, it can do a backflip or a cartwheel or whatever else you need to do. And one more thing, if everything goes good with the trial, this isn't my ship, it's yours.
Uh, mm, I don't know how I could ever thank you or repay you. You have been so gracious to me given everything that happened. I'm usually not at loss for words, but you've done that.
You're room master now, you and your party. And you'll need means to get around the fees or the teleportation of this vessel. But also, with you having this day and night, you'll be able to properly start to bring it to the level necessary to reach the moon. Now, it can brace just it can breach just into the outer layer of space, but not for long as its systems begin to fail. I say when we have more time, we do exactly that. We take it out there, and during the failure, get a good idea of what needs to be fixed. And together, we'll be able to get this thing up to speed. When it's time to go to the moon, we've already made some assemblies. The Tangled will be joining us. The entire Action Vanguard will be joining you as well, and several other masters to accompany your party. We're going to bring our people home. But please, when you get to the trials in a few days, make sure you keep cool. This all goes to the garbage if they toss you back in downpour. And they're going to be hard questions. So just be ready for them.
Yeah, how much of this technology we have has to stay secret? Like the fact that the people exist on the moon is like my main selling point for not going back to the downpour. Is it okay? Is that information all right to be out there that plans are underway?
Because plans are underway, now is the perfect time kind of get people prepared for the near future. This can be the reveal, as you would say. And this ship right here, when it's done, it'll be twice its size. We're going to the moon together, Phoenix.
I can't wait.
Take her for a spin. You'll see that it's just like the turtle trials. I invented those statues that you can lock yourself into. So this will only respond to your touch, mine, and Clamdor.
You sure Polly didn't get her hands on it?
Polly helped fix this thing up, but no, I removed her code. Actually, she put it in here a few times and I had to keep removing it.
She's a smart one. She's promising, but yeah, she still has to learn her place.
At the end of the day, we gotta look out for each other. And I'm proud to say that it seems like the women are running the future. As she points out to Minerva, Polly, you and herself as the future artificers since Clamdor's been retired.
All right, find a comfy spot. We're gonna see what this thing can do. And she will lock her hands into the armchair and let it take a moment to interface with her brain. And she's gonna plan like a screw and a loop-de-loop, and everybody on top is just gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on with the sky around us?"
Yeah. So the people up top go around a little bit until the anti-gravity fields kind of kick in and you guys all stabilize. But it was so shut in that some of you might be thinking of going overboard. Since I know that Emmerich usually has extreme responses, what happens the moment this thing starts to tilt over before it gravitizes?
He'll like grab the railing, and basically he'll like let go of Dondo just instinctually when it happens. So Dondo, I guess, drops. I don't know which way he'll go right now, but
Okay.
I brought that home.
You grab him, and then the gravity fields kick in, and everyone kind of stabilizes and is smooth. Uh, and he opens his eyes slowly, and he just goes, "This is it for me, sister. Emirates killed me."
Dondo, you can move your arms again.
Wait, I'm fine.
He just picked up some tricks like you did.
What's going on? Just tell me one thing, Sora. Do you love him?
I don't know yet.
Do you love me?
Of course, Dumpling.
Excellent.
Just give him a chance, Dondo.
Fine. But if I see him touching you, well, I guess he's your boyfriend now. It's appropriate. All right, but I'm still sleeping in the same room as you guys.
Very well.
Dude.
It's okay, Amrut.
All right.
Don't worry, Dondo. I think Amrut wishes to sleep with you.
Even though I could totally destroy Amrut in combat, I'm not going to. I'm not scared. And he's sweating. I'm not scared of these mastered runes.
You'll see like Amber like start to like reach out towards it.
Well, hold on now. There's children of blood.
Yeah, okay.
You know what they call him, Dondo? The Sanguine Seraphim.
So you think I'm afraid or something?
What's that running down your leg?
He looks down. Oh God.
Don't worry. You have a path to still walk and get stronger yet. Ooh, the ship is turning again.
It's a weird world when you're no longer the strongest. But I make a promise to you, Sora. Before we go up to the moon, I'm gonna get just as strong as you.
I'll wait to see that day then, brother. Because we will have to duel at some point.
And you can name me and Phoenix's first child.
You want me to name the child?
Yeah, I'm sure Phoenix will mind. You're like her best pal.
Did you have any suggestions?
Kakarot.
I'll put it on the list.
I feel like we're kind of jumping the gun here.
What do you know of love? A guy like you, perfect hair, just the appropriate height, outfit always clean even though you do dirty shit. What do you know about love?
Sora looks to Amrut, winks, and will walk away.
Dendo whispers in your ear, I'm not gonna lie. If I was gay, you'd be my type, but that's besides the point.
Roll a strength save.
No.
You're bullying my brother.
Ah!
There's so much power in that statement.
That ends that enemy counter.
This is my favorite Amrit Phoenix team up ever.
Okay. Is there anyone would like to talk to interactive on this map before we get the whole team back together with Judith? And well, once we touch down, we're gonna be heading towards the courtroom. Okay. I'll set the scene and then we'll take a break here. But you guys would arrive. The ship would fly just over the Fairlands, and she would have let you if you felt like it. Do the landing and everything. Just kind of get used to this vessel, assuming stuff turns out good.
Almost definitely.
You would land in the courtyards of the school since it's enough area for the people to practice, fight, and all that stuff. It's pretty wide open. You guys would get into the main city. When you got to the main city of the Fairlands, the Judicial Kingdom, you would see tens of thousands of people. So much so that kind of like a fair in the modern day, they have to like route a path down the middle of it. barricaded with knights upon knights. All the way at the end of the path, you would see Judith currently being hammered with questions left and right. And the whole press is there in front of the courthouse. But it's exclusively, if you guys remember, between the flames after Morgan pulled out. He's going to be present. He's still allowed to be on scene, but he's not allowed to report or record with his cantrip and stuff, unlike Judith and her crew. But you would see that as you guys are going down, and a lot of people are yelling hurtful stuff, and then there's other people saying that you're their hero, and it's too much to fully describe. But you do see Judith, and I'll give you all a moment to kind of reconvene with her before we take a 10-minute break.
All right, everyone. This is our grand re-entrance. Let's make some impressions.
Phoenix will fluff out her cape. She is returned to her hard as stone game face.
Sora would have left the ship before it touched down. Her slow falling descent, guided by the winds as she holds the armament over her shoulder and descends and touches down with such grace, and almost as if a gust of wind catches her as she would walk right up next to Judith, look and just stand next to her as she's bombarded, not addressing her directly, but being by her side as her friend.
As you do, Judith is like, she's not stressed. She's like in her element, but as soon as she's like, okay, whispers over, like, let's tone it down a bit, not look like we're superheroes. You don't want to scare people or make some people feel uncomfortable.
While you're talking to them, they certainly heard you. People are screaming at you. Judith Bloom, are there any other potential victims in this case? What measures are being taken to ensure the safety of the community? How long is the legal process expected to take? And what steps are involved? What charges are she facing? She killed an entire nation. Why is she walking free? Bias, bias, bias. The Rune Warriors are bias. All these stuff are being screamed at you.
Yeah. All of the questions are very. All the answers are pretty boilerplate. Not giving any details really, just saying like, I understand this is a horrible time right now, and we're trying to make through the process. Everything is actually heard in the process to make sure the right form of punishment is laid down if that is what is needed to be. But in the meantime, we'll have to go through the process of the Fairlands to make sure there's a fair trial. And all the other stuff is just like water off a duck's back kind of a thing. Like, she's trying to power through it.
Mr. Tato will look at you. We'll have more questions after the trial, everyone. We have to get inside. It's beginning soon. And he just kind of signals you, since you have the press badges and the clear route, to herald your friends inside real quick.
All right, come on, let's go, please. And
And
then
everybody's protecting you guys, making sure you get inside. And when those doors shut, they shut loud despite the crowd's noise. It goes almost silent instantly. Feeling like the verdict. Go ahead.
I said as soon as the doors shut, like, you feel like the weight of that was being held up from Judith, like the emotional weight, just like hits her for a second, like, holy.
And you could look into the courtroom and you could see what you're about to see now. And I'll leave you here on this break as the Archmage screams out to Phoenix, down the center prisoner and into the interrogation box. Who will be representing you? We'll figure that out in 10 minutes.
Sweet.
Metal's not here, guys. All right. All right, folks. So we'll be right back. The front row is reserved for the victims' families, so that's why the commoners are up there. But you guys can slot over here, and then Judith will have a choice whether she's going to sit here while Phoenix will go here. Okay. This is like where the lawyer is going to represent him, and then the victim is going to make their cases, et cetera, et cetera. I will see you all in 10 minutes. Then we got a trial, and then we got bedtime. That's as much time as I can buy you, Sakura. It's go time.
All right.
So, heads all kind of turn around and look towards you, and oh god, it's awesome. And it's just kind of quiet. He just puts his feathered hand over his heart, and the Archmage step forward into the cage, which you will feel your powers are restricted, both magic and rune alike. Good luck in there.
Thank you. She hovers just inches off the ground and will float down there. Head straight ahead. Her face as neutral as possible. And once she opens up the doors to get into that cage, she'll land like right on this side before the powers get taken away. She will take a deep breath and she will step within it.
And who might be representing you this day?
Judith Bloom.
Judith Bloom, if this is true, please resume your seat here.
Yes, of course. Judith will walk over there.
You see Syndra is like tearing up, and Pascal is holding her, and Vidkun's crying, but it's like a single tear or two, and he mouths to you, and he kind of, whenever you would have glanced over there, onions. Someone must have been cutting them.
She smiles.
You could see Dando sitting next to Tasha, and Tasha looks almost like out of it. You know, they probably have her on step of medication to help her recover from what happened with the crown and all the evil stuff. But she's just kind of sitting there with Dando, and it's actually kind of cute because Dando's he seems to have a list of things he's supposed to do to help her, and he seems to be carrying those duties out right now. The guards kind of close the door and lock the door. At this moment, until the court case proceeds, none will be allowed to leave. And
the different trinkets that she had taken out and laid before Lilith when previously just putting forth her defense, she will just be slowly taking them out of her pocket and laying them on the edge of this cage. Not saying anything about it, but that's what she's doing while everybody's moving into place.
And there's procedures going on, and the Archmage is telling them, to the jury members before the judges come in, members of the jury, do any of you have any personal biases or conflicts of interest that may affect your ability to impartially evaluate the evidence presented during this trial? And they all kind of shake their heads. You'll see that underneath your seats are two things: a red circle for guilty and a blue for her potential freedom, her innocence. Now, you will see today we have special guests, those viewing, the Council of Icarus, the Vanguard leader, Mother Nature, the Academy, and the Warden, who may be necessary today, but that is left to be seen. We will handle today's meeting in a professional manner. Any inappropriate disruptions result in the expedition of her back to downpour. Allow me to introduce you, the Supremes. Chief Justice Daguda. And you see an energy shoot down from the ceiling into the chair as the Chief Justice Daguda of Winterforge takes her seat. A dwarf. and then everyone just kind of like bows and stuff, and are at this point would be have told to stand and stuff. Chief Justice Veltrix Mexidis of Dragon's Grave. And last but not least, Supreme Justice Dante Damitre of Fairlands. Your Honor, members of the jury, today we are here to address the matter of one. And he looks towards Phoenix. Your full name.
Phoenix Clamdor.
Phoenix Clamdor.
Which
Today we will-
previously most people didn't know her last name was Clamdor. She always kept that hush hush.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed either. Clamdor is his amber cube has been moved here to spectate.
Oh shit, poor guy.
Yeah. Today we will host this session to reveal whether it is worthy of freedom or damnation. Today it is Phoenix Clamdor versus the entire city of Icarus and its destruction. Do you have any opening statements, Phoenix?
No.
And do you, Judith Bloom, have any opening statements for your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you may speak them now.
Right. Judith will. I will stand, and without any kind of piece of paper or something like that, I don't know. I don't know if it's appropriate to like walk around. So she's not going to walk around. She will stand here and say, ladies and gentlemen of the court, esteemed members of the land, today we find ourselves entwined in a narrative that is as intricate as it is tragic. Before you stands Phoenix Clamdor, a brilliant inventor whose name is tarnished by the events that unfolded in the city of Icarus. The accusations are grave, and the toll of lives lost is an undeniable tragedy. However, as we embark on this legal journey, I implore you to consider not only the actions but the circumstances that led to the unleashing of the metal god upon that faithful city. Phoenix Clamdor, a woman of an unparalleled intellect and innovation, is not the ruthless perpetrator that the prosecution or views may paint her to be. Instead, she stands before you as a victim of a web of lies and manipulation so intricately woven that even bright minds like hers can be ensnared. The allegations assert that she is responsible for the tragic loss of thousands of innocent lives in the city of Icarus, a claim that, on the surface, paints a horrifying picture. However, as we delve into the minutiae of this case, we will unravel. I think I double put. Anyways, okay. As we delve into the intricacies of the case, we'll unravel a narrative far more complex and nuanced than it initially appears. A burden heavy with the consequences of an unintended devastation now rests upon her shoulders. Since that harrowing incident, Phoenix Clamdor has not shied away from the weight of her actions. Instead, she has embraced it, carrying the burden of a heavy heart and a profound sense of responsibility. Rather than succumbing to despair, she has emerged as a hero in her own right to this land, dedicating herself to the very people that once suffered at the allegations that she was a part of. Phoenix Clamdor, with a heartbroken spirit, has embarked on a journey of redemption. As a true rune master and a beacon of hope, she tirelessly endeavors to rectify the wrongs of the past. Her mission extends beyond the courtroom. It is a commitment to the to bringing solace to the wounded land, and more pressing, to bringing the kidnapped survivors back home. In these proceedings, let us not lose sight of the humanity within Phoenix Clamdor. She is not a cold and calculated criminal, but a person who, faced the consequences of her actions, has chosen a path of remorse and retribution. Our duty is to discern the truth from the layers of the manipulation that surround her, to understand the evolution of a woman who now seeks to heal the wounds inflicted upon the city of Icarus. As we navigate this complex case, I ask you to approach it with a measured heart and a discerning mind. I thank you very much. And now we can begin to delve into the deep layers of Phoenix Clamdor's story.
Excellent. Give us your first persuasion roll of many, assuming you get involved enough with advantage.
With advantage?
Correct.
Oh, shit. Just opening up the old sheet. Drama. That is that is a with advantage. That's whispered. But it's a crit.
It's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Which is great because what you need to do today is almost impossible. The entire nation has been shaken. And it will take stuff like what you just rolled in order to have a fathom of a chance. The Archmage turns to the Supreme and bows. Your Honor, Supreme Justice of the Fairland Judicial District and the world, I now ask of you, are you prepared to begin the lines of question for Phoenix and her representative? Thank you, Archmage. We are ready. He looks to the left, and Daguda nods, and Veltrux nods. Phoenix, are you of mind today to answer truthfully, with all your heart, with everything on the line, in our court?
Yes, sir.
But first, I would like to establish your knowledge and intent. And he passes the paper over, flips it, and has a list of things, protocols, and procedures necessary to advance. Phoenix, were you aware of the potential consequences of releasing the metal god from your father's mechanical keep?
No, sir, I was not.
And by the way, at any time, if you don't like a question, Judith, you can object. Obviously, Phoenix can object herself. That'd be funny though. Objection. But you can object, and if you have a good reason, the court will follow through or deny your objection.
Phoenix will flash eyes at you if she doesn't want to answer something.
Yeah. Did you have any reason to believe that this creature might cause harm to the people of Icarus?
No, I did not.
When the metal god revealed its true intentions, did you still choose to assist it in causing destruction?
No, I did not.
Why did you trust the words of this mysterious creature, especially when its promises turned out to be misleading and harmful, and it was kept under lock and key?
Your Honor, I'd like to recall the thing I told a friend and mentor of mine, Lewis, who is no longer with us, who risked his life to protect me from the very thing I unleashed. He too wondered why I had done what I had learned, and it took some time of self-reflection. I'm sure everybody here has pains from their childhood, wounds inflicted by others. It does not matter how they got there. All that matters is that creature that did so much destruction. It was smarter than I think we gave it credit for. and it knew my human condition very well. It knew exactly what heartstrings to pull. It knew exactly what promises to make. I didn't know that they were untrue. It played the victim, said all it wanted to do was go home, that it had no ill intention. I thought I was freeing a prisoner from an unjust cage. Unfortunately, hindsight is 20/20, and we now all know that that was a lie. As Judith has said, I have learned from my actions. I am wiser than I was. I no longer carry around the pain and bitterness that made me so susceptible to being manipulated.
He nods. He can't show like approval or disapproval for your responses, it being a neutral stance. But he looks to the Chief Justice next to him. For now, I will rest. In the meantime, Chief Justice Veltrix Mixeris will be preparing her questions for you. For now, we're going to hear from the first two victims in this case. It was impossible to field all the victims in the city, so 5 have been selected. Please bring in Armin. And you see this door over here to your left, where the empty pew is. A person comes in, kind of bows. Oh, am I grabbing this open? Thank you, Your Honor. And the Archmage kind of like elegantly presents his hand to be seated. They will mention their thoughts, recount their feelings and opinions, and the result that this catastrophe caused. At which point in time, there will be an option for questions that can be given to them. Thoughts and opinions by Judith Bloom, if she so pleases. In the meantime, however, let us all turn our attention to why we're all here. Hi, I'm Armin, one of the many victims of Icarus. A soldier whose life should have gone before his wife's. But she's gone, and every day I think about revenge. And it's intimidating, Your Honor, that this criminal has been given the opportunity to master the runes. Is that what I'm understanding from the public conversations and the media? Who's to say she didn't build this thing? When I lost Mabel, she doesn't have a future anymore, no more opportunities. She worked down at the orphanage, taking care of children as if she was their mother. Now who will tend to them? The many orphans, too many for the facilities. I ask you, Phoenix, why do you get to keep living when you've taken so much?
Would you like an honest answer?
That's why I'm here today, to get to the truth of it all.
Just because one is living does not mean that they are better off. You may notice, and she'll point to the different doodads she has around that she had taken out. These are not trinkets from me, or friends, or my past. These are burdens that people much like yourself had given me. Remnants of their loved ones that they no longer get to hold. Most of them wished to yell at me, spit in my face, to give me a piece of the person that they believe I took from them. I didn't dismiss this. I carry them around with me every day as a reminder. I like to think that maybe allowing people to yell, vent, whatever, helps them heal a little bit, and I can carry their frustration around. Just because I am living does not mean I am better off.
You see, Armin looks kind of frustrated. Give me a persuasion roll. I mean, obviously, he's kind of frustrated. His freaking wife's dead, but
Yeah, that's okay.
he looks upset. Looks like he's about to explode, but he's in the court, and even if he's hurt, they'll still have him removed. So you just see his fist tighten. He puts it on the table, and at this point in time, Jude, if you are free to,
Well, if
questions,
when he puts his fist, Phoenix would like to speak up.
sure.
What if I told you there's a possibility that she's not gone?
You're playing games.
There are plenty others that have better reputations than I, to be truthful. Perhaps it hasn't made its way into the news yet, but while I was out there with others, we have made a discovery that lots of, not everyone, but many of the people that were hit by the destroyer's beams were not disintegrated, so to say, but they were transported. And plans are already underway to try to rescue them. I can't promise that your wife is one of them, but it has become my mission to get up there and free the ones that do exist.
They'll say anything.
Indeed, which is why there are others that are in the know. Some of them even in this room right now, and she looks up towards Mother Nature. And Caillou Kitsune, I'm assuming, would know as well.
Yeah, she's the Vanguard leader. The Archmage just goes, that will be enough for now. This news will be spread soon. For Armin, do you have any other words to spare her or to the jury? I don't know how to feel about this. All I know is that something was taken from me that can't be replaced. And the idea of someone else being free is heavy. But if these words even have an inkling of merit to them, they must be explored. The Archmage just kind of nods. And Judith, will Armin be released at this moment, or do you have questions for him?
Armin, I don't have any questions particularly about the current matter, but I will ask along with the others that as we continue down this process, in all of the missing people's reports, we will need to look. We will need to have any of information that you'd have about your wife Mabel, in order to make sure that she is indeed one of those that were kidnapped. But like Phoenix says, that is true, and we will try to bring her back.
A small smile at this possibility. I saw her body crushed. But now you tell me that maybe she was taken somewhere else.
Oh.
And he smiles a little bit. And the Archmage just kind of looks at you and just shakes your head because this could only spiral really bad if you confirm right now. And
No, I'm not. I'm not going to confirm. In fact, I will unfortunately have to tell them that. I apologize, Armin. I unaware of exactly the. If you saw that she was crushed in front of you, there's a good chance that she will not be able to come back. However, there is a chance that other people that lost their wives, that lost their husbands, that lost their families, the orphans that she protected, there is a chance that people like them will be able to be out there.
I see. Archmage looks to the honors, to the Supremes, and Dante Dimitri. If you're complete, Armin, you may return to the back and continue watching from the special survey screen. Thank you, Supreme Justice Dante Dimitri. Are you prepared to continue the line of questioning Chief Justice Beljux Mixeris? I am ready. Phoenix.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain your reasons for bypassing and disabling the defenses of the mechanical keep, knowing that it could potentially lead to catastrophic consequences?
I did not fathom at the time that there would be catastrophic consequences. If I had, I would not have done what I did.
Did you have reason to believe your father, Clamdor, Eugene, had any reason to imprison this creature for any ill intent?
Hindsight now has me acknowledge that my reasons were not legitimate. But at the time, I thought I had them. As many of us have delusions of grandeur when we're children to how ideal the world may or may not be, I was misled. But at the time, yes. Growing up, I had always had a fascination with the metal creatures. Some might say it was morbid, but it is the truth. It is what a lonely girl does. When she believes she is not wanted by either of her parents, she finds something else to attach to, something to belong to. I was interested in them. I've always been interested in technology and advancement. And a little part of me was kind of proud of myself for being able to outsmart the man I thought didn't want me. Like I said, it's not my shining moment, but that is the truth of what I had to learn to grow through.
I see. I think that will suffice as your motivation to venture deeper into your father's keep. Were there an alternative course of action you could have taken that might have avoided the destruction of Icarus?
Yeah, I could have not gone in there.
She nods. Yes.
But even so, the creature got my attention when I was not within the keep. I was outside of it, and it reached into my mind. I wasn't even in there at first contact.
It seems from our understanding that the creature was able to communicate with Clamdor alone, but due to the nature of your blood relation, perhaps that is why he was able to speak to you. Which brings me to my next line of question. It was proven that the metal god did not have the ability to take over a creature's mind. Are you suggesting that magic or technology was at play to alter your decisions, or just poor judgment?
Manipulation of the highest order. And my poor judgment.
That is all for now. Supreme Justice Dante Dimitri, I rest. Now let us bring in another one of the victims impacted by this. As you prepare your notes, Chief Justice Ogata. And then he looks. As you prepare the next victim, Judith, if you'd like, you can step next to the cage and speak with your client. If you have any advice or tips for her, it is your right to be there for her when necessary. If either of you are fine to continue, then we'll bring the next victim out now.
Yeah, I'll just thank you, and I'll walk over to Phoenix here. You're doing great.
You too.
I think the only path we can do is stay on the honest path, but don't. If they start asking questions that might implicate your father and other things like that, this is not about them. It's really about you, and just make sure that this doesn't get spirally out of control. All right?
Do my best.
She gives you a look almost that you feel like you'd be inspired, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
Bardic inspire you. But do you feel?
Excellent. The next victim comes out. The Archmage. This next victim has always held a high position in the world and had lost their entire family to this unfortunate circumstance. Now they will speak upon how it has impacted their life and, of course, what they think the jury should do today regarding your freedom. Please come to the stand, Lilith.
Lilith comes walking up to the stand. And she has this different air about her. But she calmly walks up and she looks at Phoenix and gives her a slight smile before looking to the jury. It is true that Phoenix's decisions have caused great loss for many, myself included. I have been given the opportunity to travel with Phoenix and her companions for some time. And I will admit, when I first met her, I held nothing but contempt, disgust, and a bit of hatred in my heart towards her. But as time went on, I've got the chance to see who Phoenix truly was. At first, I just wanted her to feel a portion of my pain. And come to find out, she was feeling it all along. She just never showed that part of herself to anyone. So, I tell you, the jury, and to any other victims who may be listening to me, listen to Phoenix and to Judith Bloom when they tell you that there is still hope. My husband, Aiden, and my son, Silas, they're being held captive by these other creatures. And it's going to take bright minds like Phoenix to make their rescue possible. Should you seek retribution and to seal Phoenix away, well, in my eyes, you're only making the mass grave even larger, as I don't see a way possible without Phoenix. So give her a chance. I beg you. Not only for my family's sake, but for the sakes of many others. That is all I have to say.
And Judith, do you have any questions for this victim? To properly frame what they've gone through, or to bring anything to light? Or will they be free to leave?
I've been lucky enough to spend time around Lilith, and I believe there are no more questions that need to be asked. Thank you.
Nods. Thank you for your participation, Lilith. You may return to the viewing room just beyond.
Of course. And she gives Phoenix another look of encouragement and turns heel and goes back to where she was.
The Archmage looks towards Supreme Justice Dante Dimitri, who then looks towards the Buddha. Are you prepared, Chief Justice, for your line of questions? I am Supreme. Looks down towards Phoenix and says to you, Phoenix, can you provide an estimate of the number of lives lost as a direct result of your actions?
Player speaking. I feel like she would have calculated this
Objection.
out. Oh,
Okay.
good call.
And the Supreme Dante looks towards you whenever you have an objection, and you raise Y, and then he can accept it or not and move the question along.
This is full speculation. There's no way she exactly will know how many people are there. Anything would be an estimation, and a high number would just add further what's the word? Judith would know, have a great word for it. This is a trap question, and we wish this is not to be asked.
Supreme Justice Ante Dimitri looks towards the room and says, it's true. No one could truly know the toll, especially with the new information provided. Please, Chief Justice, move on to the next question. The court accepts the objection. Doga looks towards you. As someone who played a pivotal role in the events, do you accept the responsibility for the devastation caused in England?
I believe my actions have proven that I have. It was the what guard? The
Action Vanguard up here.
Yeah, the vanguard that accompanied me as I went and finished off the creature that did all the destruction. I've proven time and time again that I've taken responsibility. Right now, I am part of a group of people trying to figure out how to undo it to the best of our ability. That is all.
And speaking of your time with the Action Vanguard squad, this is an appropriate moment to bring in the next victim. Jonathan.
I knew it.
Hello, Your Honor. May I be seated? You may. I, from the viewing room, have heard the other victims' statements, their impacts. And I have a similar voice as Lilith. My daughter should be 8 years old. 2 weeks pass. But she's gone, Delilah. And I hold such a heavy hatred in my heart to Phoenix. But also, I hold forgiveness. Delilah taught me, even as a child, that people make mistakes. I'm sure they're not always as grand as this one, but she would not have wanted me to, especially at my age, hold this hatred. So by careful calculations, far too many flasks of the special drink. Days and days and days of plotting my vengeance. I realized I was becoming someone that my daughter would hate. And I've lost too much to lose the fleeting love I remember she had for me. He just starts like crying. But damn, I miss her. And even though I'm willing to forgive you, Phoenix, damn you for taking her.
She continues to look at him, doesn't say anything, but she takes it.
But Phoenix is the only chance of bringing those who survived home if the information presented today is true. So by that account, I will ask the jury to give her the opportunity, despite how I feel, that she be graced the freedom to travel beyond our world to the others and bring our people home. And should the information be proven as false, that she's sharing the fate that she dealt to so many. I have a feeling in my heart, based on what I've seen with the Vanguard Action Squad, that she will prove to be honest and correct. I forgive you, Phoenix.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you for your moving piece, Jonathan. Judith, do you have any questions for this father? Or shall I retire?
I don't, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, as we close towards the ending, you'll be afforded one more response, Phoenix and Judith, outside of the questions that will be asked one final time by Supreme Justice Dante Dimitri. Do you have any closing arguments for the jury to hear before the Supreme turns it over to them?
I feel like she would, but I don't have them right now.
Yeah, Phoenix might be under a great deal of stress. And Judith, you had a hell of an opening, so if you want to rest here, you're comfortable, you can rest here. It's up to you.
I don't think I have anything to add on here at this moment.
Okay.
But I ask if I can. You said there's one more, right?
The one who went first, the Supreme, is going to go one more time.
I defer mine in request that I would be able to go after if needed.
Archmage looks. Dante just kind of nods. The court agrees. Supreme Justice Dante looks through you, Phoenix. Have your statements today been consistent with your actions and intentions of the day of the incident?
Yes.
Do you believe that individuals should be held accountable for the consequences of their actions, especially when they lead to the loss of innocent lives?
Of course. But exactly what those consequences are is on a sliding scale, with consequences of bringing back so many people, risking their own life to travel into enemy territory and a terrain that is completely uncharted by our kind. That is a whole nother level. It's infinitely harder to imagine than what the Vanguard and I did of going into the hidden areas that were on our own planet. Yes, take responsibility for the actions. But I'm not exactly sure what good I would do rotting away in the downpour.
Are you prepared should you return to the downpour today to still help with the creation of the vessel needed to get to the moon?
It'll be very hard to do being separated from the vessel itself.
You'd be afforded freedom, just as you have in the past few weeks, to work on it before returning to your cell, so that a team could properly reach the moon with or without you. If you are crucial to the plan's success, will you be willing to make that sacrifice?
If I must, but I'd like to add that I did make a promise to Lilith that I would be personally involved with retrieving her husband and son, and I
Promise to 10,000 families that justice will be seen in this court today. Now the jury will have the opportunity to dole out that justice based on the accounts presented today.
very well.
And then he looks towards Judith to see if she says anything before he asks the jury to do their count.
Yeah.
The Archmage nods.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, the jury, I hope this has been a revealing session here with you all to see what the true heartbeat of Phoenix Clamdor is like. She is not an evil person. She is someone that, yes, has made mistakes, but is also there, willing to accept the punishments. Now, whatever decision you all make, it will be just. It will be deserved. But just know, Phoenix has a lot more left in this world. A lot more left of good to do. And with your grace, it will give her the opportunity to show this world and all others the true spirit of a rune master of shadows. Not one person that came up today in the admittedly small pool of victims. The only thing that they hold in contempt against her is their desire to get their families back. Phoenix, with the group going to the moon to retrieve them back, is what I believe would be what most family members would care about. But that is not in my hands. That is in yours. Thank you very much for your time.
There whispers and stuff, and then Supreme Justice Dante looks towards the other justices, and they all look and nod towards him. Jury, the floor is yours. And I would like the audience to understand, there will be no more further deliberation until the count is complete, and no more conversation whatsoever will sway their minds from this point forward. Jury members, your identities have been concealed due to the high-profile nature of this case, so please vote with your hearts, not with any fear instilled upon you. And find this person innocent or guilty. Let's take the count. Jury member 1, your verdict. Guilty, Your Honor. Jury member 2. Guilty, Your Honor. Jury member 3. Guilty. Jury member 4. Innocent. Jury member 5. Guilty. Jury member 6. Innocent. Jury member 7. Innocent. Jury member 8. Guilty. Jury member 9. Innocent. Jury member 10. Innocent. Jury member 11. Innocent. Jury member 12. Innocent. That by the power given to me by the people of the Fairlands and the United Elemental Armies to stay under the watchful eyes of Mother Nature and those beyond the reaches of even our world. In view and approval of Chief Justice Ogata and Chief Justice Veltrix Meziris, I, Supreme Justice Dante Dimitri, grant you, Phoenix Clamdor, your freedom.
When the jury had finished and she was tallying things up in her head, she leaned against the wall of the cage just to stop herself from falling over with relief. And when he says that she is released, she stands back up and just nods her head and barely says thank you.
When you went to fall, you can feel a hand on your shoulder. And you feel his presence. You're never alone, Phoenix. You're never alone. And that's when Judith comes over and the Archmage puts his hands up and releases you from the arcane prison. You are free. And the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, Judith goes and grabs onto you. Like, yes, you did it.
Hang on. She will turn back around. If I may, I would just like to give my word that going to the prison and releasing as many people as possible is my ultimate goal. Now, nothing else will get in the way. And then she turns around back to Judith and just mouths, "Oh my god!"
We gotta keep it cool. Keep it cool. Oh god. Okay. We can start heading out, right?
Yeah, you see the court judges open the door, and Amrit and Reinhold, you guys have been on the sidelines for a long time. I want to thank you guys a lot, as well as Sora. What do you guys respond to her as she comes out? I imagine you're fucking waiting right at that gate.
Well, firstly, Sora's finished up the trial of the Phoenix, the depiction of the court proceedings depicted on canvas, and she will turn it to the courtroom as her contribution and donation to this day. So that painting is going to go to the justices or anyone here, and it can be sold for donations and contribution to the victims, if necessary, or held aloft here. But as Phoenix comes up, Sora puts away the staff and just walks up and lifts Phoenix up into her arms into a big hug.
She will hug you, her head on your shoulder. You might feel it's a little bit wet. And she just, "I can't believe it, finally. Yes, we can do it now. We can do it without this hanging over my head."
Another step in the right direction. There's still so much to do, but this was one of the hardest parts. We can do this, Phoenix.
If I can get through this, I can do anything.
Of course. I think there are more people who are eager to see you.
When Sora puts her down, she will run over into Syndra's arms, say, "I know you got something cooking at home, right?"
Oh yes, yes, we do. Now the matter of getting there fast, I booked several modes of transportation. I knew you were going to come up with us today.
I hope. Oh, do you have anybody guarding the place?
Should I?
Probably, Pascal. We might need to go someplace else.
And Big Tongue goes, "Relax, the Tangled are there, remember?"
Oh, man, I have friends of places I didn't know.
Yes. And then Camille and the forces would, most of them would remain behind, but she would come down with her fiance, and the captain as well would come up to you, and Cersei would just kind of like give you like a punch in your shoulder, and Camille would give you the keys to the vessel, so that you can rewrite a signature to lock your mind to others. It's all yours, kid.
We are going to do great things. I can't wait to venture with you guys again. We're going to go teach them tentacle face creatures a lesson. They do not mess with Elder Earth.
One more thing, Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
That thing you made. Mind if I borrow him?
Malfunction?
One person's junk, another's treasure.
You want to borrow him? I mean, for how long? I was kind of hoping to put him through the paces.
I can take it from here. You take the ship and Shadow Wolf.
You sure?
You've got a lot of fights ahead of you, so I'm told. We'll all reconvene on the vessel. When you get Jenkins back, I'll get Shadow Wolf back. That's my deal.
All right. How much does he eat?
Shadow Wolf eats a lot. Even though he's a machine, his processing energy requires a consumption of at least 3 fields.
Damn, well, I got some batteries for the medical gun that went off with Jenkins. I'll figure something out. And she will run over to Shadow Wolf and crawl up onto his legs. You see Feathered Frankie looks at Judith. I'm not gonna lie, kid, you did a good job. I mean, I would have done better because I'm qualified, but
if you ever need someone to work, here, he gives you his business card.
Thanks, Frankie.
I'm saying, you could do big things together. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those things they've been talking about making nowadays. Those black and white films they've been trying to produce. We could be the noir.
Maybe that's that. I might look into something like that.
You see, Otis is a member of Divination Daily, and Morgan and Frankie's like, I see you're acquainted with this guy here with the mullet, whatever. I'll get out your ways, all right? But hey, you get a little lippy with her, you're gonna have to deal with me and my cousin Vinny. You understand? Okay, cool, good. She's under my protection. I'm a certified bodyguard.
Hey, Frankie,
Yeah.
go to what was the name of the bar that we? I think it was like Orc's Head or something like that.
The one that we went to had like the brunch thing at.
With the bear?
Yeah,
Blue
go,
Note.
go tell him that the place is needed. We're going to rent it out. Nobody else, just us. We're gonna celebrate.
Oh, I'm certified to throw celebrations. I'm on it. And he heads out, and Morgan looks at you and goes, "You know, Judith, I've got a big story I'm working on that I could use your help with. I realized something, that I've been under the capitalistic thumb of Icarus for far too long. And we could really put our minds together to unravel what really goes on behind the scenes. I'm talking the puppets."
Don't you already know that?
Oh, calm down. Haven't I proven that I'm no longer an enemy of the estate? I am among them, yes, but they've never treated me like a proper member. Perhaps it's time the world could see who's really pulling the strings. You know, truth and all that other stuff you've been spewing, Judith.
I think that's a fantastic idea, Morgan, and let's have a meeting about it maybe tomorrow.
We'll talk. I'll bring shortcakes and tea, and if you're thinking about leaving the Rizlord over there, I do find myself single.
Let's just keep this, professional.
Well, I was talking to Amber, not you.
Keep moving, dickhead.
And he lifts up his wig. As you wish, and he continues. He does not have perfect hair. He reveals to you one more thing, the truth of his hair. And he walks off. Yeah. Reinhold, any words for Phoenix?
Reinhold, not really understanding the context of the event or really knowing what's going on for the most part, kind of just leans up against the seating with his arms crossed and a smile across his face. While he might not be sure what exactly happened, he knows that it's a good thing, and he knows better than to intrude on something he's not fully aware of. All that he knows is that everybody else around him is happy, so he's happy, and just simply watches in the festivities.
Okay. And you see the warden walk over to you. Phoenix, it comes with great pleasure that I will not be taking you back to Downport.
Trust me, the pleasure is all mine.
I apologize for the prospect that was a possibility. I understand your part to play in ending Project Peace, as well as what must happen next. Your group is hunting someone special to me. They're hunting my younger brother. He is a member of Night Chapter. I ask if you can bring him in alive. That would be much appreciated. Perhaps you know who I speak of. His name is Yasuke.
We will do what we can. I do believe he's quite wanted.
So a lot of us. I would like him to be given the same fair trial that you have seen.
I trust that you would do what is proper, despite that he's blood, and yeah, we'll do what we can. If he will go without us killing him, I mean, he might have too much honor or whatever, but yeah, we will try our best.
He looks at Amaret. You are his acquaintance. Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
You have my support in your pursuits in Night Chapter. You just tell me what you need. We'll speak tomorrow before you leave out, if that works.
Sure.
Or I can join you in your festivities at the Blue Note. But trust me, I do not make long-term company good. He nods, expecting to see you. Good.
I'll say, isn't the Blue Note makers?
It is, but Phoenix said
They expanded.
well,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's
Right.
right.
The Fairlands.
Is that the Knickers? Oh, it is. I'm
The
sorry.
Blue Note, yeah. We could say they have a subsect here if you want.
Yeah.
So you guys can stay locally. I think that works. You know what? Honestly, the one in Fairlands got destroyed, so we'll just say that they relocated here.
Oh, the one in Icarus got destroyed.
Yeah, I wonder who did that, but anyway.
Up.
Hey, relocated here. So don't worry. The warden leaves and looks at Lilith and nods. It seems like your purpose is not finished. Do Mother Nature's bidding.
I intend to.
And the warden of Downpour leaves.
And Lilith approaches the crowd. Phoenix, do you have a moment?
Yeah, we're all going to the Blue Note. You want to join us?
She gives a warm smile. That sounds wonderful. I'll join.
We'll walk and talk, and she'll let everybody else go ahead of them, and they'll hang out the back.
Tenethil asks Aria, Mother, shouldn't she be killed for her crimes? I don't understand.
My dear, justice has more than one definition. Sometimes justice is setting right what you wronged. Let's say you had a friend who had a favorite toy, and you accidentally broke it. Wouldn't justice be you spending your money to replace it?
I see. Now that this is all done, are we able to return home?
Yes, my dear. That's enough of this shenanigans for one trip.
Not before a quick hug from me.
Yeah, he would see you and be really excited and ask you if you're going to come home soon or go off on another adventure. He thinks he considers the two of you his moms, but after losing his mom, she's just kind of letting him have it at the moment.
Unfortunately, there's a few more adventures left to go on, but I'll be back soon, of course.
Okay. And then you hear, "Can I have everyone's attention?" And he gets on his knee. Tasha Tamrian, whatever the hell your last name is. He pulls out a ring. And you see Morgan look at his hand like, son of a bitch. His ring is gone. Will you be my wife? No. All right, everyone, carry on. Tasha, away.
Shit.
That is the future of my clan.
There's still time to rethink that plan, Sora.
Certainly won't be boring.
Certainly not. Well, I shall meet you at the Blue Note. And when you look back at her, she's outlined, blink, blink, gone.
And well, it's just without even waiting for permission, she just goes to hug Phoenix. Congratulations.
Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. People expect my representation and me to say sweet words, but someone who's lost so much to speak on my behalf, just thank you.
It was the right thing to do. And you deserve it.
I don't know about that, but we're gonna fix it to the best of our ability. It might be cracked and the super glue might be visible, but we're gonna make it better.
Well, you have everything at my disposal.
Including you?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss you, and I got this new ship. You're absolutely gonna hate it because it's not very natural at all, but it's amazing. And well, you probably used to flying on the back of Mother Nature's wyverns, but I can make it do cool stuff.
I can't wait for you to show me. But yes, I'll be joining you.
Oh, really? You done with your training? All right, that's awesome.
Well, I can't say I've mastered everything, but I wouldn't want to. Well, I want to be a part of what you're doing.
I thought you were gonna say of history, but yeah, that works too.
I say, as Mother Nature's advisor, I will make sure Lilith continues to master her runes. I'll be joining you as well, I say, mostly nested upon your new fleeting vessel, which I hear is stunning.
Just so you know, there are 3 mice on it. They are not prey, they are friends.
A shame. It'd be nice to be a predator in a world filled with such dangerous magical creatures for a change, but I say they shall be free. But that filthy cat, has he managed to get his slimy paws upon your vessel?
Yeah, he was on there too. I'm not quite sure where the litter box is.
I have a few ideas. And he flies off. You see the court guards. Is someone going to grab this amber?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hello? You see Glendor like beating on the side. Don't leave me here. And
Phoenix will ask Shadow Wolf if he can carry it because Phoenix isn't strong enough to carry another human.
Darua, Omaiwa, Mosundaru. He agrees he can carry it.
Isn't that your father?
Wait a minute, the player was thinking this was like a TV camera type thing. Is he actually physically in there?
Yeah, he's half conscious inside the amber. They bring his amber self here.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess it is. It's gonna be torture for him to see us drinking. We need to he needs a nap.
Yeah, Shadow Wolf says he can put him on the vessel. He needs to stay in a warm climate, anyways. Although he can't speak normally, Shadow Wolf. He just roars and stuff, but he can speak to you in Morse code, which is something you would have learned at some point.
Cool.
All right. So he jots off with that, and yeah, you got Shadow Wolf now. You lose a few of the things you could do before, and you gain things you could never have imagined you'd have because he's way stronger.
I can't wait to see his sheet.
Yeah, with that said, as Shadow Wolf ventures beyond, bringing your father to the vessel. Feather Frankie calls in the new blue note, who's singing the hit beat coagulation, exaggeration. The party begins with all of you guys leaving here and walking into the blue note and giving me your outros from left to right in game. You know the drill. Phoenix. Actually, Phoenix, we're going to do from right to left today since this is going to end on you since it was all about you tonight. Sora, give us the outro.
Sora would be seen in the higher parts of the establishment, the rafters, like sharing a drink with her brother and Ogabos if she's there. The Aku, as monkeys do, hanging out high above everybody else. But she would look out and for Phoenix at some point while she's having fun, and that non-blood related sisterhood they share. They'd like lock eyes, and she'd raise a toast to Phoenix with a knowing smirk and smile. She had no doubt she would come out on top.
Phoenix will raise her mug to you and give you the 2-finger salute, and she is grinning bigger than you've seen her grin in a really long time.
But is that for me?
Judith.
Judith is just going to let herself enjoy this moment, and let all the stress of the months that it's been since we found out about this trial to just fade away, and she'll probably find like a nice little quiet place to sit back and watch everybody and look at all the smiles on everyone's faces, and yeah. At some point, we'll probably go and have a good time, and maybe dance a little bit with Amrut.
Reinhold.
Reinhold, for most of the party, not really being in his element in any way, shape, or form, kind of just hangs a bit more toward the sidelines of the party. Still partaking in some drink here and there, but he just looks over at the crowd and recalls some of the parties that used to happen back on his island. And as he's looking around, he sees a lot of similar faces. Smiles, merriment, enjoyment, caring for one another. And it's looking over all this that a single phrase comes to mind. This is my family now. And would just go about and try to figure out wherever Sora is and just hang out with her for the most part.
Okay. Okay, Amrut.
Family. Before Emmerich even leaves the courthouse, he'll watch these people at the left balcony leave because he knows a couple of their faces already. Similar to what Morgan said, there are people in the shadows. A couple of them are more out there than not, and some of them showed up, so that's interesting. Unless you want to help Morgan at all, or even want you to do that, But the warden, we'll help the warden for sure, especially because he has to deal with Yasuke. It seems that'll be interesting. So we think about that. And during the party, before he actually goes in, he will try and reach out to Terma as well.
Okay. Terma, the channel opens and he looks at you. You've called.
Yeah. Soon. Okay.
I will prepare what needs to be done on my end. Now I ask you, Nikita, give you the strength to take your first love's life.
What? Why would I need to?
Thales has dug his claws into her, has taught her that you have always been her pain, and I fear that she now thinks so. Do not trust her. Yasuke, he's willing to play his part, but he has his own demands.
You just let all that happen.
Who knows what Yasuke is thinking? Knowing him, he'll try to be the hero of this all and take Thales down himself just to die. No one can defeat Thales in a single combat. That's why we have to take him together.
Yeah, fine.
One more thing. Your plan, you've only got a week. That's when they plan to extract Palm's power and take over the Malda army. Rise up from the shadows and no longer be phantoms. 1 week, mobilize against Night Chapter.
Okay.
If we can free Palm, we could stop the invasion just before it happens. If you think you can reach her heart.
You guess a way in? Without a guns blazing method?
He tells you, I can get you deep into the inner sanctum to avoid a majority of the forces. Bring your strongest strikers, but a small group or it will fail. We'll take Thales. He remains in the Father's chamber. Only Night Chapter members can enter the room. Your team will be useless to aid you in the fight against Thales. It will be me and you versus him, or you and Yasuke. But if we have to kill Nikita, I'll do it for you if you want.
No one's touching her.
He looks at you because he has like your mind in his head, but he's like, if you were super evil. And he tells you, I thought you found new love. You still care for her? Even if she betrays you?
Yeah, doesn't mean jack shit.
It's a funny thing, love. I'm happy I don't have any in my heart. Just remember, Night Chapter's mine. And,
Sure.
the mind just kind of desinks and disappears. And there's a lot of questions. Can you stop the invasion with Palm's influence? Can she be influenced now that the crown is no longer corrupting her head? So many things in your mind. And only a few short weeks to solve it all. Anything else for your scene, Emirate?
Emerald will have basically like been at the steps of the doorway with basically just like in the shadows having this conversation. And when it's over, he'll just sigh and open the door, and like all the light will just like flood outside essentially from inside. And he'll walk in to greet everyone.
Okay. At that point, based on what we got from Judith, you'd be from one stressful situation into a waltz or a dance of sorts. Okay, thank you very much. And I suppose I do owe Lilith some type of closing statements. So Lilith, your final scene before we close out tonight with Phoenix.
Well, I mean, I was gonna do something with Phoenix, but then we
You can include her in your thing if you want, and then we'll, she'll have her own scene too. So
Mhm. But after a few drinks, Lilith would invite Phoenix out to either outside or a balcony of some sort. But she invites her to a private chat outdoors.
She'll go.
And once they reach outside, she simply looks out to the night sky. So, did you ever think this day would come where it wasn't going to be held over your head constantly?
I wanted to. There were times when I did. But not really. Even though those people have chosen to let me go on and not sit and rot in that horrible prison, it's still kind of over my head. It's still over my head until we finished it. This world, it hates technology. And I understand why. But really, they need to hate the creatures that are behind it that use this technology against us. Technology can be used for so much good. So, I don't know. It's still going to hang over me until we get those people back and we teach those invaders a lesson. Can't wait to use their own technology against them.
I can't say I've never been afraid of the technology I never understood. But getting to know you and seeing all your little gadget doodads, I'm willing to open my mind a little bit to it.
Speaking of, I've been working on these new ones, and she reaches in her pocket and holds out something that's like about the size of a quarter. Upon level up, she got Spare the Dying cantrip, and this is her version of it. See, if you place this right here, and she puts it on your chest if you allow her to,
Okay, she's curious.
and push this button, it gives just a little bit of a shock to the system so that if somebody is feeling like they're leaving their body, this should allow them to stick around a little longer.
Do you actually push the button or?
Yeah, she looks at you because she's had a couple of drinks. She looks at you and tells you to hold on to something, and then she'll push the button.
Gives her a jolt, and she's surprised. What? Is it supposed to do that?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's helpful if you're not feeling anything. I guess you're still feeling stuff, right? Sorry.
That was frightful. Okay. Well, I think that might have sobered me up a little bit.
Oh, come on, we can fix that.
Well, and she just holds up her drink, whatever's not spilt anyway. To a long-lasting friendship.
Cheers. And she will clink her glass against yours. And by the way, stay away from Sora's brother. He's incorrigible.
Well, he certainly doesn't lack for confidence.
Yeah, you could say that. That might be about the only thing he doesn't lack, if you get my meaning.
But I'll take your warning under advisement.
And they'll go back inside.
That'll be it for Lilith.
Okay, and before we get to that, since you guys just invoked his name before Phoenix closed out, Daniel's like, all right, Tasha, I get it. I shouldn't have made a scene. And I shouldn't have stole that ring. Just tell me, what is it? What I gotta do better? For one, you can stop talking to every single girl you meet. Done. I don't even like those other girls. None of them. For two, you don't have to show me off to the world. If you want me to be yours, and do that in privacy. I much prefer my own time, my own shadows. Not such a public stunt. Yeah. So, what happens here? You kiss me. What? You kiss me. For real? Oh, this is just embarrassing. Daniel's fainted on the floor. I really thought you were going to be all in for this. You were always so ready. He starts foaming at the mouth. She picks him up and just brings him home. And Phoenix, close us out.
Phoenix, throughout the night, she doesn't usually let her guard down, but seeing that this place is filled with friends and family that have stood by her side through everything, she is having a good time. There are points even where she has her arm around Vincent, and telling adorable yet slightly embarrassing stories from his childhood. How Syndra had to chase him around to get him to put his pants back on because he liked just running around in his diaper or whatever. And just having a good time, enjoying the drinks, talking about the excitement of the ship and her plans for the new shield and the gauntlets that are almost done in the forge, and just really living her best life for one night, because she knows there's a lot ahead of them, a lot they have to do. This is just one obstacle in their path, but they live with so much pressure that for tonight she's going to forget about it.
Okay. And the scene kind of fades at you guys all at the Blue Note. Drinks and coagulation in full speed. Questions about tomorrow and still things pondered of about yesterday. But one thing's for sure. We survived and we're free. And the sky's the limit. That concludes tonight's session. Thank you everyone for participating.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Later.
Bye, viewers.
That was louder than I remember. Jeez.